Right, disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. When the Scientology is still in you, from Sunny, dated September 17th, 2024. I was finally released from the confines of the Sea Org in May 2004. I had been put on hard labor and interrogations for 5 months before they finally released me. It was my mother that told me that I was getting SP declared. That's just a suppressive person declare, which in Scientology terms is the most evil kind of person. Security and the Justice Chief arranged for me to stay with another SP-declared couple located just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. They had been chosen because they were actively working on their steps to get back into Scientology. Handlers. Security wanted to make sure I was placed where I would stay connected to Scientology. I had sold my e-meter Scientology lie detector to my mom. So that gave me $1,600 to start, plus the $500 severance from the Sea Org. But most of that was gone, paying for my train ticket to St. Louis. I do appreciate the help of this couple in the beginning, but after about 2 weeks of living with them, I was woken up by them at 3 a.m. The woman told me that I was ruining their marriage. What? I was barely awake. The man said I was going exterior, spirit leaving the body, and coming to him in the night playing with his male body parts. What in the giant tarnation are these crazy people talking about? They were telling me that I was in treason and I needed to work myself back into good standings with them, or they would kick me out. It's always punishment. I had barely gotten out of the Sea Org and I still needed a place to stay until I could get some credit history and a job to get my own place. I didn't know how to drive. I had no cell phone. That's how they like it. I wouldn't know who to call anyway. Very little money, no credit history, no job history, just the one job. I was 32 and I felt like a lost child. In order to keep the peace, I tried my best to apologize for whatever misunderstanding was going on. I had a nagging feeling that it was going to escalate. I started locking my room and even added extra barriers, so if anyone tried to enter, it would wake me up. In other words, she's afraid of sexual assault. Every time I saw the man, who I tried to avoid as much as possible, it was clear that there was some sort of deranged attachment to me. It made me very uncomfortable and I started feeling quite unsafe there. This is why all this mixing of people and not being around your family, not that family's always good, it doesn't work. Finally found my own place and told the wife the same day I was moving. I did not want any conversations with the guy about where I was going. What does that tell you guys? Predator. A few days later, he showed up in my work, Predator, and told me that we knew each other for many, many lifetimes and we were meant to be together. Yeah, forget his wife at home, I guess. No, we were not. Dude, I barely know you, and what I do know, I'm not liking. I asked him to leave, he did, but he came back every day. It sounds like a stalker. And he started writing crazy messages and faxing them into my work. My coworker showed me a stack that was hundreds of pages of faxes that had come in. This also might be to get her fired, possibly. He came by again and again, and I kept telling him to leave me alone. He kept spouting words like Thetan and past lives and true love. He was loud and everyone could hear all this strange stuff he was saying to me. I went to the police station and filed a stalking report and turned everything over to the detective. But I knew I would need to do more to make sure I was safe. It was time for this SP, me, to disconnect from that SP, him. I had to change my place of work several times, Jesus, and eventually move out of town completely to finally have it stop. I mean, this guy sounds like a nut job, but I do wonder if that was done on purpose. I don't know. He sounds like he was off. I hope he got the help he needed for whatever was going on. It's so Scientological to blame the victim. Somehow this couple believed I was truly treasonous for what had happened. That's crazy. It did teach me a valuable lesson early on, and that was that I had to get away from everything related to Scientology until I could gather myself and work out my own issues, like trauma. And so I moved far away from everything familiar and started over again. So that's it, you guys. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night, wherever you are.